Another type of constant is character constant. A character constant is enclosed with single quotation mark, and it includes numbers 0 to 9, letters A to Z, either a small letter or a big letter, and all special character like a space, comma, percent sign, dollar sign, dash, underscore sign, ampersand sign, etc. may be included. So these are examples of a valid character constant. A J that is enclosed with single quotation mark, percent sign that is enclosed with single quotation mark, a period that is enclosed with a single quotation mark is considered as a character constant. Number 1, since this is enclosed with single quotation mark, we cannot say that 1 is a numeric constant, but rather a character constant. G, also an example of a character constant that is enclosed with single quotation mark. Again, take note that the entire character constant must always be enclosed in single quotation mark, 1 before the first character and 1 after the character. No more, no less. So the following examples of incorrect character constants are J. We started it with single quotation mark, but it doesn't end with a single quotation mark. For this example, we do not start it and denote it with a single quotation mark, but there is a single quotation mark at the end of the character. So this is invalid. Another type of a constant is a string constant. This is a character or group of characters enclosed in double quotation marks. The number 0 to 9, letters A to Z, capital or small letters, and all special characters like a space again, comma, percent sign, dollar sign, dash sign, underscore, etc. may be included. So these are examples of a valid and correct samples of string constant. J that is enclosed with double quotation mark. Okay, Glorin with a double quotation mark, period with a double quotation mark. 1225 again is not considered as a numeric constant since it is enclosed with double quotation mark. That is considered as a string constant. Double quotation mark CNG, double quotation mark, so that's also a valid string constant. So take note that the entire string constant must always be enclosed in double quotation mark, 1 before the first character and 1 after the last character. No more, no less. So here are the following incorrect string constant. So again, Glorin S. Fuentes is invalid because we started it only with a double quotation mark, but we do not end it with a double quotation mark. To make it valid, put double quotation mark at the end of the last character. Same thing as MITC, we started it without a double quotation mark and ends it with a double quotation mark. To make it valid, we put double quotation mark before the first character. Power Ranger is just the same as Glorin Fuentes. We need to put double quotation mark after the last character. After assigning the constants, we need to identify our variables. So when we are dealing with variables is a portion of the computer's main memory used to store a numeric constant or a string constant or a character constant. So the value stored in the variable must be given a unique variable name, but it can hold one value at a given time. So these are the guidelines and how are we going to make variable names. So we need to conform with the following requirements. Number 1, or letter A, must contain only letters, numbers, and or an underscore. And it must begin with a letter, must end either with a letter or a number, must be unique, that is not a name of another variable. So let's say for example, you created two variables named as num, 2num, so that is invalid. So we need to name it as unique as possible. So if you want to make use of num, 2nums, make use of either a letter or a number before, after the last character of num. So let's say for example, num1 and num2. or it can be num A or num B to make it unique. And must not be a keyword. Okay? So a keyword like in pseudocode, we use the word accept. So please do not make use of accept, while, and the like. A variable may be one of the following types. It can be a numeric type, a character type, string type, or an array type. So take note, all variable names are case sensitive. That is, upper and lower case letters are differentiated. For example, the variable total is not the same as the word total with a small letters. So the following are examples of incorrect variable name. So how do we make year code as a valid one? Okay, so year code is a variable but it is invalid. To make it valid, it's either I'm going to put year code, okay, without a space, or a year code in addition to year and code, I need to put an underscore to make it valid. Okay? Next, 10CTR is invalid. So we do not start it with a number. So to make it valid, omit 10 and start it with CTR. This one is totally invalid. As mentioned a while ago, we need to start it with a letter. Next, this one is invalid because of the equal sign. To make it valid, omit the equal sign. Next is expressions. Expressions is or are a group of program elements consisting of operands and operators. Operands can be a constant, a variable, or an array element. Operators can be arithmetic, logical, relational, and or string. Take note that expressions always yield a value of a certain type depending on the type of expressions used. So here we have three expressions. The first expressions that we're going to discuss is the arithmetic expressions. So take note that in programming or in flowchart and in pseudocode, we follow the hierarchy or priority of operators. So number one, if we encounter expressions in parentheses, we need to do the equations or the expressions first within the parentheses, then followed by multiplication that symbolizes asterisk sign, slash for division, and percent sign for modulus division. So in this case, if the level of hierarchy or priority of operators are just the same, like number 2, we follow the rule of left to right. Okay? Same thing as number 3, the plus and the minus. So later on, I'm going to give you an example of how are we going to prioritize the expressions in arithmetic. Before we proceed to our example, let us first differentiate the symbols percent sign and the slash sign. So again, slash sign is for the division. So when we say division, we are getting the quotient. For modulus division, in this case, we are getting the remainder. So let's say, for example, I have 4 divided by 2. So the answer here is 2. While 4 modulo 2, it means we are getting the remainder. Remainder here is 0.